Um, hey guys, I know it's been a little bit. I know I said I was gonna start posting more, and I've just been busy. Life happens. I'm in finals week at my school here in Rome, and it's just been like every day, constant study, stuff like that. I have two exams tomorrow. I have one at 8 a.m. I had to squeeze this video in, so it won't be that long. But I want to get to my point. I've been struggling with trying to like find out like what my like purpose is, I guess, in life. I have all these things that I'm trying to do. Like I have Instagram pages for like backpacking, photography, TikTok, YouTube, all that, and although it's really fun and I really enjoy doing that, like I really enjoy taking really cool photos and mini vlogs, I guess, for my backpacking page, which I started recently. I was in Sorrento last week, so I posted some stuff, got some decent numbers, but none of that has like really fulfilled me. Like I still want more. I still don't know if that's what I want, in life. If I want to full on like balls to the wall, like go with that. I haven't really figured out what I wanted in this life, and I struggle with comparison sometimes. I look around, I see all my friends have college degree jobs. They either have college degree jobs. I have one friend who has his own landscaping company, which is doing great. I have one friend who has his own AI business. I have friends who have really good college jobs. I got friends who have stable like blue collar jobs, and I'm just sitting here in college still at 23 years old, and I compare myself to everything I see. Sometimes I've gotten a lot better at it, but I've been trying not to, but it's just hard sometimes. And it's really, I think it comes down to, it's obvious that they have found a purpose in their life, and I just haven't found one yet in mine. you know I saw a quote today, on Instagram. I follow on my photography page. Most of the content that I see is just like a bunch of most of the content I see is just like inspirational stuff. I try to make that page where it's not any like corny brain rot videos, on my reels. It's just stuff that would motivate me, And I saw this quote: "Is stop searching for purpose. Once you do, it will find you." And I thought that was really cool because I see that a lot. I see the whole like what life wants you to do, it will come to you. If that makes sense. Like what everyone could fight for what they want in their life, but in reality, the world, like the universe, knows what it wants from you. It knows what it wants you to do in life, and it has a plan for you. And all this stressing and all this anxiety about trying to find certain plan or a certain path, and stressing yourself out and bugging yourself out. So my neck's been a little hurt. I think I slept wrong on it last night, but it all just like it kind of excuse me, it's 12 o'clock here. I got to go to sleep soon, but it all makes it makes you, when you go out and you're doing all these things every day. Obviously you should have a structure, you should have something that you are trying to achieve, but a lot of people get lost in it, and they don't sit back and realize the life that they're living. They miss so much because all they're focused on, their one thing they're focused on, is this goal that they want to achieve, and that's very fine. Like, I respect anybody who wants to grind and achieve something in life, but a lot of the times what comes from that is stress and anxiety and anger and just a bunch of negative emotions that you wouldn't face if you just let it come to you, because what you want in life will come to you if you let it. Everyone says that you need a purpose in life, something that drives you, something that makes everything that you're doing, like, makes it make sense, but what if, like, I haven't really felt that at all, I wake up, I go through my day, I go to the gym, I do work, I trade, all of that, and then I go through my day, and there's just no big, like, why behind it. I'm just living my life. I'm just living life. I'm just trying to just get by. It doesn't feel like I'm working towards something. Even with this stuff, like, I post, and the photography I've been really consistent with, and I've haven't gained a follower in a month and a half, damn near. I've gained a little bit, but rarely. And I've 100 and, like, almost, I think, over 100 posts on it, all from within the last 4 months since the new year. And I just haven't seen anything from that. And it's just like, why am I doing this if there's no positive outcome yet? But then I sit back, but then I realize, I'm like, me thinking like that is only going to make me stress out about it more, because I'm stressing myself out by not letting it come to me. We've kind of, like, been dealt a lie about purpose. We've been taught that purpose is something, you find, and it's out there waiting for you, one perfect path, one clear answer. But that idea messes people up, because when you don't feel like it, you think you're behind or broken. The truth is, most people don't ever have a clear purpose. They just have momentum, they have habits, they have responsibilities, they have stuff they do every day, but that's not your actual purpose. Purpose isn't something you suddenly discover. It's something that comes to you over time, and it builds, and after you start moving, after you start working for something, then you will find that path, that purpose. And without having a purpose, you kind of feel empty, like, I ask myself a lot, I don't want to get, like, all dark and like negative, but, like, I feel empty so much because I'm just like, why am I doing this? What's the reason? What's the outcome that's going to come from this? I'm like, I'm kind of well off in the terms of, like, I have when I was younger, like, I got a good amount of money, and from something that happened, and it's the amount where I don't have to work a college job or, like, an adult job if I don't want to, and because I have that in my back, like, it makes me feel like, what am I trying to do? Like, what is my purpose? Because there's no purpose that I can think of. I can't think of a purpose when there's no when like, I'm not, like, I can do what I want and know that I have that behind me. I'm not pushed to get a good paying job. I'm not pushed to get this and that. I'm not challenged. I don't feel challenged. I don't feel like I have something that's, like, making me work for it. I'm stuck in my own head too much about that kind of stuff. And when your life is just, like, repeating the same loop, like, you wake up, you scroll on your phone, you eat, you sleep, your brain asks you, what's the point? What is the point to this? Not because life has no meaning, because you're not engaged in it. Stop looking and start trying to build. This is the next part of this video. You have to ask yourself, what can I get better at? What actually interests me? Even just the smallest thing. What kind of life should I respect? Or what kind of life would I respect? Purpose doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. You try things, you suck at them, you improve, you start to care. And over time, meaning shows up after the effort. Here is the real, like, shift that changes everything. You don't need a purpose to start. You need direction. A purpose is too big, too abstract. Direction is simple. Go to the gym, learn something, build something, travel, meet people. My semester ends this week, like I said, and all I want to do is just go backpack, go live this local life, not this tourist life in Europe. I have zero care in the world for any materialistic item whatsoever. I think people who have a care in the world for what kind of shoes they wear, what kind of designer clothes they wear, all this and that are secretly I have a connection. I've connected the two. Someone who says they don't care what others think about them are the same people who care about the fucking brand on their socks or on their underwear. And because and in reality, they care so much about what somebody thinks about them. I have a friend, he doesn't watch these videos, but I try to tell him all the time, but he just doesn't answer. He doesn't listen. I'm like, he tries to tell me, like, in what I think is a fake version of how he is, and it's the same thing. He wears expensive ass everything, all this and that, and I try to talk to him in like a deeper way, and there's just nothing there. Like there's no care. I've liked to think that I've gotten really good, not really good, but I've gotten a lot better at talking maturely and talking, having deep conversations, and it's just not, and people who like that kind of stuff are just so one-dimensional. There's nothing behind them. There's nothing in their brain to talk about further than one or two things. Back to, I got a little off track there, but you stack enough of these days where you're doing all these things, where you're trying to find direction, and suddenly your life feels like it's going somewhere. If you feel like you don't have a purpose right now, that's good. That's you're not gonna find your purpose. Like, I'm not gonna find my purpose in life at 23 fucking years old. That means I'm at the beginning, not at the end. Which the end is death. The end is 6 feet in the fucking ground. You're not supposed to have everything figured out like that. You're supposed to be in a motion where you're figuring out things along the way, small things that leads you to the big thing. Because purpose isn't something you find in one day. It's something you look back on and realize, I built this life for me. I was patient, and I let it grow and grow and grow, and I kept my head down and grinded, and I figured this out. Stop waiting for meaning. Start becoming someone who creates it.